22 picks isn't enough to get a good grasp on the statistics. I do agree with you overall. I mean, I've seen this Morrison C. It's not look good, but this could be the game. And, you know, Italian Nano Gangster could be the chef cooking up that marinara with his hands rubbing together. You could be looking forward to this one.
Kara charges out. Vision is there. They caught the Oracle, though the arrow is off the mark. Whoopsie daisies. Italian and Gangster now being chased down on the Mars. He's going to be fine to go past the tier 1 tower, though. By the way, I don't think we talked about this very much. Ush is on the POS 3 Marana.
Yeah.
So that's happening.
Yeah, I think the reasoning is just you get some spacing away from Monkey King with your range. You can always play with Starstorm to clear out the creep wave, secure range creep, get a little bit of farm from the large camp as well with the Sacred Arrow, so you can escalate. And I suppose when it comes down to it, you are a universal type, so Gleipnir build-up's not too bad for Marana here.
Certainly is not. So there is a bit of a smoke from Ravens. Looks like they're thinking about trying to move in. They will get the bounty rune for themselves. It'll be a 2 for 2. Not too big of a deal. Both sides look to back off here. Right. Maybe this time we start with the mid lane, shall we, John? Like, you're going to have RRL. He's going to be up against Wildcard on the Pugna. So the Void Spirit versus Pugna matchup, which I feel like every time we've seen it. Did I say Pugna? Oh, the Pango, John. The Pango.
You're thinking of all the Skelly boys today, Mikey.
Oh, I don't know what's happening with me today, Jonathan. RRL versus Wildcard. The Pango versus the Void Spirit matchup. I feel like every time we've seen this, the Void Spirit still ends up winning out the match, just based off how much it hits for with its damage. But what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I'd say it's maybe a little bit better for Void Spirit. You can block off a lot of harass with Resonant Pulse. I mean, you have Shield Crash to try to give you the same durability. It just doesn't feel as great for the Pango. It's going to be down to, in this matchup, more than likely just landing your Aether Remnant. That's a one key piece of his kit here on RRL. It kind of helps you in this matchup. And if you don't land that, Wildcard does have easier harass. So that's really all you have to watch out for. For the most part, should be even. Maybe by level 4 or level 5, it feels a little bit better for the Void Spirit, though. That is something Wildcard will have to watch for. Rune Control probably is the great equalizer there, as we do see some aggression down bot. Charge out from Skyward, but Spirit Breaker Marana, not the most straightforward combination, and you don't really want to overcommit on the Monkey King.
No, you don't. And speaking of that bottom lane, you know, Argus and Kara against Ush and Skyward, like, the POS 3 Marana, certainly not something I was quite expecting to see pop out here, but it is a universal hero, you know, so you never know. I can't wait to see what kind of damage this Marana's going to have doing his top lane. They do get Italian a Gangster. And to be fair, even if he is playing Master vs. Slark, you know, you get caught out by a Gale, it's not going to be the most fun process for you. It's waking up now. Quite a bit of damage being dealt by Door. Not going to be anywhere near enough to secure a kill, but certainly going to give the warning wake me up needed to stay back.
Yeah, that's a pretty big take for the side of Tilted Boys. So they're having a good time in that lane. Still a lot of aggression coming down bot, though. One more hit. There you go. So, yeah, always a threat of Jingu that will keep Skyward and Ush back. It's still a better look coming out here overall for the side of Tilted Boys to have their side lanes go this well. Like, Clinks again, his laning phase is maybe not the best moment for that hero. You might even be tempted to just run your Oracle up top. Now, having that Dispel on hand, just ruining that Veno could be the way to go, but for now, sticking to what they have here on side of Ravens, and Tilted Boys probably happy about that. Very happy about having a very free lane for the most part.
Bottom, Skyward forced to charge away. He's going to be fine. Nowhere near enough damage to secure the SB kill. Skyward, the SB is quite a tanky position for, so he's going to be just fine. Get back to the fountain, go for a reset. And the beauty of the SB is you can just TP back to the fountain every time, because you can just charge right back out. You know, it's no problem.
Yeah, just get back into the game. Smoke out as well, just to speed the process up. Gonna make his way down to help out Ush. Overall, again, you are getting a little bit more aggression out from the side of Tilted Boys. Your mid lane is still winning out here, though, for Ravens. And RRL, again, Like, this is the point where the Void Spirit becomes harder to manage at level 4 into 5. Wildcard, he is trying to work into an early Orb Corrosion, more than likely into his Diffusal buildup, and that's going to give him a lot more presence, but it's going to be hard to pin down RRL once he does have his 6. Like, with a Slarkin, like, you don't really have that much control or hard control on your lineup from TiltedBoys to key in a Spirit Brother here.
A bit of action down at bot lane, not amounted to too much. Kind of the thing, like for the MK, unless you have the fortune to enter lock Ush down, chances are you are not going to be able to get too much damage off onto the Mirana. Mind you, though, like he's having a pretty free time farming on the Monkey King. Not much they can do to slow Argus down here in this bottom lane, which I think for Ush and Skyward, you kind of just accept that point. Though I say that, the jump is there. Argus taking a lot of damage and he is down. Well, there you go, Jonathan, the classic caster's curse. Skyward handing over the tip to Argus immediately. The very nice arrow from Ush to set up.
Yeah, just getting the chain stuns, and the Monkey King nowhere near building any Jingu stacks up, so it does get punished. That is the one play you can do. Just, again, stand from a distance, look for these openings, and coordinate your charge in. That's where the Monkey King can start to fall a bit flat up top, though.
Yeah, spear off the mark from Italiano Gangster. It will still zone them out, so they can't keep the chase going for Wake Me Up. But it seems like Ferte and Dora having a much better time this laning stage. And again, I kind of go back to the Mars pick. Like, sure, the win rate's pretty decent at 55% across all regions, but in this game, at least, it hasn't felt the best.
No, it's going to be a bit of a uphill struggle for Italian Gangster there as well, as they are still getting aggression all across the map. A little bit of a move down bot. Doesn't quite line up into a kill on Kara just yet. The one thing you do have is this rotation that you can get from the Spirit Breaker, so rune control is a lot easier here.
It certainly is. 6 minutes is upon us, and it's going to be up top where the shield rune is actually denied off by Dora as Kara goes down on the Oracle. Wildcard will be very happy with that kill, and now even pops the Rolling Thunder, trying to protect Skyward. Go after Wake Me Up. Maybe he can find a 2-for-1 special for himself, as this Rolling Thunder is such a nice position. Oh, and there goes your Kling. Store will take that one. RRL at least able to TP away, but certainly a very favorable mid-fight for the side of TiltedBoys.
And they managed to find a little bit more coming out there. You force away the Void Spirit as well. You did lose a pretty big courier with a lot of items on it for Volodka, so not the best if you do look at it in that wider pool. But overall, you're not going to be unhappy. Again, a rather even start, a much stronger start for TiltedBoys this time around, though. 1-4. Their lane's just a little bit smoother, especially for Ferte, as you aren't really getting as much for Argus down bot. But no one with too many gains across the board. I think it's, for the most part, even outside of Italian Gangster lagging behind for the side of Ravens. So again, the timing on the Mars is the one thing that's going to feel a bit awkward. The double bracer is already stalled out. The Soul Ring still stalled out as well. And that just means you're going to have a slower time in trying to get that blink, trying to get these arena game plays going. And that's what we have to see from the offlane down the line. So let's see how well Italiano recovers. It feels like his team is relying on him to provide some stable team fight.
Top lane. Rotation's out now from Skyward. Goes through the twin gates, looking to maybe set up here at the top lane, but decides better of it and instead goes for the charge onto RRL. Void Spirit, notoriously hard to catch as the Spirit Breaker, unless he just doesn't get away. He'll just stand his ground with a Resonant Pulse. Luckily, there was no follow-up anyway. Like, Volodka did not have time to channel up the Rolling Thunder. So RRL, surprising me by just standing his ground, won't bother wasting the Astral Step charge, and it works out. He knew he just didn't need it.
Yeah, get another charge opportunity onto Italiano here.
Yeah, why not? He's already quite low. Spear is going to be on target at the very least, but Ferte is still chasing him down. The God's Rebuke going to slow him down enough that he won't bother, though. Skyward, he's a little bit of a different guy. He wants to chase no matter what. Eventually going to back off as he does not have any way of locking down the Mars. But at the end of the day, like, your Slark is free farming quite nicely here. You won't really mind not picking up these kills. Mid lane, RRL in big trouble. No step charges, no dissimilate. But the Fortune's End does cancel off the charge from Skyward. So they didn't have the backup coming in, and Volodka, he put the hand up a little bit too early because now he's in danger. He will back off successfully. Skyward taking a fair bit of damage on his way out as well, thanks to Wake Me Up. Had that charge not been cancelled by the Fortune's End of Kara, RRL would have almost guaranteed just been dead. But thankfully, thanks to Kara's positioning, that does not happen.
Yeah, so neither side finding anything. You're also a little bit, maybe not as happy on the side of Ravens not having the kill onto Volodka to punish. The heal, the hold not quite good enough on Ravens to really pin down something like the Pango. Room up top for Ferte to get a little bit aggressive. Italiano does have the arena, so you might not want to fully commit, but you've always got the Shadow Dance now to bail out. See a little bit of a movement out down bot here from Ravens.
There is. Charges out, RRL. Charge is cancelled because door is going to drop. Ash is still chasing, so is Skyward. They land a nice blood grenade onto two heroes, so Kara is going to get caught. RRL actually still committing. Luckily for him, though, there is a haste rune waiting for him to be picked up, so he will take that. Skyward, he does have the charge, but doesn't see any point in trying to use it now that they know that there's a haste rune bottle up. Just wouldn't have enough to actually secure the kill, so they'll just leave him be.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Tilted Boys, it's still a much closer game than what we've seen between these two, at least for now. With less than 1k advantage, it's really anyone's game at this point.
Yeah. Still manageable for both sides at this score line. They are looking for an opportunity up top onto Ferte here.
Charge. It's going to be on the creep wave, not going to land onto the Monkey King. Meanwhile, top lane, Ferte. Oh, nice juke on the spear. With a missed opportunity here for an Italiano gangster, but it won't matter in the end. He'll still just take the kill with the right clicks. And that's a huge pickup. That was your highest net worth hero on Tilted Boys going down, so Ravens should be very happy with that. Tilted Boys, they are still trying to push in the bottom tier 1, but they are forced to leap away and back off, though I say that Skyward just charges right in, but now he's in danger because Argus jumps in as well. Arrow's going to land at the very least onto the Monkey King, and now he's in danger, but a nice boundless strike into the hills is going to give him time to TP out, and he's going to be fine. Wake Me Up even going to survive himself. They couldn't get the final hit off. The Clinks is fine. Oh, what a disastrous situation here. 4 Tilted Boys down at that bot lane, just finding nothing and still losing their Spirit Breaker pulse 4.
Yeah, it's not the best of looks, not the biggest loss in the world, but you're very happy here on Ravens. You get the back off on your Monkey. You get to just go back into the jungle to farm. You're working towards that Echo Saber here. Lots of aggression coming out from RRL onto Volodka, but there is relief here.
Charges out, Skyward going to catch RRL. Aether, or rather Arcane Rune is picked up. Here is RRL, still on the low ground. He's going to avoid the Rolling Thunder from Volodka. Going in again. Nice Aether Remnant. He actually caught 2 of them. He had 2 Aether Remnants out. He caught 2 of them at once. How often do you see that? They'll lose door as well. That's something you don't get to see very often.
No, that's a bit of a treat from RRL as he's not quite done. Doesn't flip Skyward, but we've got a good connection now to work onto mid and get a little bit of a push going themselves. And there's not much here from Tilted Boys to stop this. I mean, Ush is around. He's got double right band up with Blades of Alacrity. He has good right click, but it's not really enough to zone them out just yet.
Big rotations in from Tilted Boys. RRL, Dissimilate away, does have both step charges now available, so actually going to jump back in very confidently. Keep in mind, he has no mana, but he did have the stick charges to use if he needed it. That'll be about it. They'll back off. A lot of rotations not really amounting to anything for Tilted Boys, so a bit of wasted time for them. Mind you, Ferte is still freely farming on the Slark, so you do have him to kind of fall back on at the end of the day. So I think they're just more than happy letting Ferte just keep hitting creeps. But it seems like Ravens have got the same plan. Like, as long as Argus is farming, they don't seem to really care too much about what's happening across the map. Thing is, Argus is falling behind when it comes to the net worth board. He's about 1.2k behind the Slark at the moment. And I don't think that's the farm is gonna speed up too much from the Monkey King, as it seems like Skyward is gonna get caught trying to get cheeky with a Wisdom Rune, but he's gonna get tipped here from Wake Me Up.
A good little read coming out from the side of Ravens. Wake Me Up sees the Ancients attacking someone random in the tree line. Figures out someone's stair camping the rune, and they get the punishment for it. 7-5 now in Ravens' favor. Less than 1k net worth lead. Every core kind of matched up farm to farm. I think the one here now lagging behind is Ush on the Mirana. Until you get that Mjolnir up, the farming pace is just going to be a lot slower. Big timing for that Mirana is going to be the Gleipnir. As we tend to see with a lot of these ranged universals off lane, it's always about the Gleipnir timing. We'll see if that's going to do enough here. Italiano Gangstar has his full blink flying out. So much easier arenas can come through here, and the team fights are starting to look sharp for Ravens, as they will go for a smoke play out.
See what they can find with this smoke. Kara and RRL both roaming together. Sad thing is, they've kind of revealed themselves under that observer ward though by placing them, but maybe TiltedBoys have not got the memo because they'll run right through. In fact, they're getting away with this. The charge is still going to land, though no, the root is there in time. There's no bash out onto the Mars, but it's not going to matter. Italiano Gangster still in trouble. There's your false promise out though. He will survive a little bit longer as they'll make the dive in onto TiltedBoys, and Ferte's gone. RRL with a double damage rune is not to be messed with right now. He's dealing way too much damage. Wildcard in the meantime holding down Wake Me Up, takes the Clink skill. Skyward, he's also going to drop here on the Spirit Breaker. It's 2 for 1 so far in the favor of the Radiant, but they've lost the Monkey King. Argus is down. Spear is going nowhere from Italiano Gangster. Ush does drop as well on the Mirana. Volodka caught by a Fortune's End, but there's no follow-up damage now, so he's going to be all right. Ultimately proving to be a better team fight for Ravens in the end. But it's still not going to feel good losing your MK like that. You know, he's not able to keep up in terms of the farm game, so it's almost starting to feel like RRL is turning into the real carry for the team here on the Void Spirit.
Yeah, at least for the time being, that's what you'd expect from the Void Spirit overall, right? Like, he does have earlier item spikes, kind of wants to get aggressive. The Monkey King just needs to sit back, try to farm up a little bit more. The Harpoon is going to be the big timing for Argus. More stats to play with. A lot more to dish out in these fights as well. Same thing is happening for TiltedBoys though. Like, you know, you lose Ferta early in the fight. You lose your offlane as well in Ush. It does feel like you're waiting for more heroes on TiltedBoys because your Mirana is just not contributing until Gleipnir is up. Ferta as well needs his Ags to just have these pounces to clip someone like RRL. Take care of that threat, Void Spirit. And that's still a ways off, that Ags.
RRL jumping in onto Door. He's okay for now, but the arena going to trap him in. So he is down on the Venomancer as Volodka trying to get out, is eventually going to be able to roll away after the arena. Meanwhile, Wake Me Up also dying to Ush, but you do buy enough time to allow the tier 1 mid tower to go down here for Ravens. So still a pretty big win for them, finding the Veno and finding the tier 1 tower for the price of their Clinks.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. I didn't know you'd get stopped by Arena of Blood in Rolling Thunder. I thought you were debuff immune. So I thought you could roll out, but he was stuck. That was before the root came out anyway. That's a bit weird.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Beta game.
Yeah. Fuerte.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Keeping tabs on the Slark, though he should be well aware that that's happening thanks to the Shadow Dance passive, and he does place a Sentry Ward down now. See the Slark in the end. Wake Me Up can't cancel the Twin Gates usage anyway. Verte's just fine to continue going after the Aghanim Scepter on the Slark. Again, my main concern right now for Ravens, on the other hand, is the fact that Argus is just not having a real game as a position 1 Monkey King at the moment. Trying to build up the Harpoon, but even then, like, it seems like so much pressure is on RRL to carry this game for them. Comparatively, like, this Slark is having a really good time. And once the Axe is up, Ferte is almost guaranteed to join his team for these next fights. In fact, he should be asking his team to smoke up and go right after the Axe is ready. Much slower game than what we're used to, though, from this series so far. 11 to 8, basically 1 kill per minute, which is still slow considering how the other games have gone. But at least we have a close game 3.
Yeah. More competitive. Again, no Ursa, no stomps. Seems to be a call out here. So we'll see if that pattern holds in the rest of Div 2. Ferte, again, feeling confident. The Ag's not too far off, but...
Well, Arena Spear is down. He got the Shadow Dance and Dark Pact off in time, though, so Italiano Gangster needing to find a way out, but the chase is on now. Ash keeping up the vision on the Mars with the leaps, misses the arrow. Meanwhile, Wukong's command gonna catch out 2 of them. Skyward is gonna go down. Still, you do have Volodka, who is rolling around the team fight, creating all sorts of chaos, but they have lost Ash on the Mirana. Now Kara's gone as well. Door will drop. It's 2v3. In fact, no, make it 2v2. It evens out the team fight here between these two teams. Wake Me Up, still trying to run. They do end up using the defusal against him, but they don't have detection. So he's okay in the end. At least with that team fight though, Ferte now does have enough mana, enough gold to get the full Ags up, does buy it out. It even has the time to tip Italiano Gangster while he's at it. So that initiation, it wasn't the best, you know? Arena Spear, but Shadow Dance Dark Pact already up. Oh, mid lane, RRL, he gets the regen route. Volodka, he didn't reach it in time. How unfortunate.
RRL's been on point with rune control. Just so aggressive jumping in, knowing that he can get away with it. Ferte being stalked again, but again, the sentry's there. You know, it's the same spot for Wake Me Up. Oh, he'll try. Spear a bit too late, unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, that voice line from TiltedBoys, why does that sound like Neff almost? Does it not?
I mean, he's... You know.
It disturbs me. Disturbs me greatly. I thought we were done with Neff. I thought we'd had enough. Still his voice rings in my head.
Is it Neff?
Rent free. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it just sounds close enough.
It does.
That's disturbing.
How very culturally insensitive of you, John, to assume all Americans sound the same.
No, well, he's Canadian, Mike, so...
I know, Jonathan.
How dare you?
I was taking a shot. He doesn't like when I get it wrong, Jonathan. I did it on purpose.
You mean like Australia, New Zealand, right? What's the difference there? Huh?
Hey, there's a clear difference, Jonathan. How dare you?
Sure. Let's just say there is, so we're done with this. I'm sure there is a significant difference. Less beer in New Zealand, I believe.
I actually don't know about that. I think you might be wrong. But anyway, moving on. Bottom lane. Wake Me Up, Skyward, hanging around each other. I don't think Wake Me Up can kill Skyward here on his own, that is. Maybe a +1 would probably do the trick. You do have Italiano Gangster coming in. There you go. There's the arena down. Skyward actually already popping charge on the creep wave, so definitely no real way out of this one. Didn't have Bulldoze up either, sadly. TP's incoming for more. The Wake Me Up going to be fine to escape, it seems, unless he runs underneath a sentry ward. But it looks like he's going to hide in the tree line and eventually just TP out. Of course, Italiano Gangster also getting himself out of there. He's just perfectly fine. And sadly for TiltedBoys, they can. Keep in mind as well, John, like you've got a Desolator now up on Argus. So he's starting to hit a lot harder than he once was. It seems like TiltedBoys, they're going to retreat once again.
Yeah, just cut your losses. Regroup. They're not able to use this Ags on Ferte just yet, but once it's up there in the team fight, that's where things can get a little bit dicey for the side of Ravens. Still, Roshan just gets started for Ravens anyway. They've got the clinks, they've got the physical output. And TiltedBoys backed off from this position. So a nice Roche sneaking its way over for the side of Ravens here. Not gonna take too long now. No contention. And that is scary. 2 lives up on Argus or RRL is going to make a massive difference in the middle of these engagements. It does look like they'll give it to Argus as he has been in the fire line a lot more than, let's say, RRL has been. That has bought enough time for Wildcard to get his Ags up at the least. So you've got the Pango Ags, pretty major power spike for him. But Ravens are going to look to force the fight. With Aegis up, go for the smoke play and see what they find.
Let's see what happens. So we go. Smoke is there. Ravens trying to really press the advantage, but they've already kind of relocated across the map here for TiltedBoys. Not willing to try and fight into the Aegis of Argus now. We'll see the Desolator as well, and you see that's going to show them that he's going to be a lot stronger than he once was. It's a tier 2 bottom tower, also going to be focused down by Ravens. A lot of objectives being taken by this side with the Aegis up. It doesn't really seem like we're gonna have any form of a defense. So Ravens, they say screw it, we'll go for the Tormentor while we're at it. I mean, why not?
Yeah. It'll be a nice shard to get. Unfortunately, it is on our Clinks rather than the Oracle. It's no Reign of Destiny. You at least have the Burning Barrage up, but on the support Clinks, not the most impactful. Still, something. They could just get the next Tormentor as well. And no sign of stealing here from the side of TiltedBoys. You do hit this timing with the Gleipnir on Mirana, so Ush doing a cool 225 damage per right click with all the stats up. Universal type, very, very cool.
Very good indeed.
So that's more control. Helps you lock in something like the Monkey King, something like the Void Spirit in the middle of these fights. And again, a really even game. 16-11, less than 1k lead for the side of Ravens. Not massive by any measure. In fact, hardly a lead at all. So anyone can still find themselves on top here with a few good fights.
They certainly can. TiltedBoys, it does feel like you want to start pressing the advantage you had with this Ags pickup on Ferte, but he's going to get the BKB first. Obviously, you're looking to wait for the Aegis to expire anyway. So you'd rather not fight into 2 Monkey Kings. So important to get off on the right foot here in Div 2 as well if you are either side. So they are taking this game 3 very, very seriously. Rotation into the mid lane by Ravens. They are the ones that would love the fight. Argus, bottom lane, or rather top lane, going to sign Ferte. Will throw out the Boundless Strike, but does not really hold him down thanks to the Dark Pact. But now Wake Me Up's getting some vision. Midnight Shadow was popped though, so they do all get away safely. Is Italian a gangster? Not going to get hit by an arrow, but they have found Ush in the arena now. Italian a gangster just going right in. Meanwhile, Skyward, he tried to charge it as well, but he has no helping coming. The Clinks, False Promise, is going to save Wake Me Up for a little bit longer, but ultimately I think he is going to die. So Argus is going to be able to get a Wukong's command off onto Ush, but he got stunned up, and now the bash out from Skyward. Wukong's immediately cancelled, and Argus is just going to die. Does have a secondary life, but needs more help. They are trying to come in. The Clinks will drop eventually. Wake Me Up is gone. Argus trying to make use of this secondary life. Skyward did buy back into the middle of this team fight. So ultimately, you'd call that a win for Ravens, and they're going to find a tier 2 top tower out of this.
Not the most comfy fight to take, really awkward. Again, Italiano Gangstar going very deep for that arena usage. If he had arena closer to where the fight was breaking out, it might have been a little bit better coming out here for the side of Ravens. Unfortunately, not the case, but they still clean up. They get this double punishment onto Skyward for the buyback, and they still get control up in this top jungle anyway, having taken over the outpost. And not really able to clear the objective without the Clinks. It does feel like you need those Skellies to come in to help clear out the objectives faster, but you put yourself on a much stronger footing. A clear lead now for the side of Ravens, 3k up, 20-13. The side of TiltedBoys. Again, it's a weird back and forth in these fights, because it does feel like you're relying a lot on Ferte to just get these pounces off. And if you manage to find the Monkey King or the Void Spirit, the fights feel really easy to take. But if you don't, in these weird scattered fights, the Ravens have a more forgiving time in looking for individual pickoffs in a, again, kind of chaotic team fight. So TiltedBoys have to watch themselves just a little bit, but again, this kind of position isn't... It's not too bad. You take Aegis away, you don't have a threat onto the high ground, so you know you've got a lot of leeway here to just take your time on TiltedBoys and keep trying to build up.
Bottom lane, Skyward. I mean, he just died back. He's going to go down again. Wake Me Up setting up a nice team fight. Rather a nice pick off here. Orchid is up on Wake Me Up, so he can, you know, indefinitely lock somebody down. And of course, if RRL's there, he's got so much damage. He's got another double damage rune as well, bottled up on the Void Spirit. So scary, scary times right now for TiltedBoys. It's just kind of stuck in their own base at the moment. Can't really move too far out. Only Ferte is the one moving out, just pushing out waves, but does have the Depth Shroud, the Shadow Dance and the BKB, so he can kind of afford to do this. Just wonder at what point Ravens can feel comfortable to really try for a high ground attempt. Like, it might be all about Roshan next again. Or Ferte. If he gets caught here, that might be the high ground I was just talking about. Will pounce to the low ground. RRL unable to land the Aether Remnant. Had he gotten it, maybe you would have found yourself with a very impactful kill. But Ferte barely able to get himself out.
Yeah, manages to bail out, and now you've got the shield rune up on RRL. So pretty much almost 5k HP on the Void Spirit once he pops that rune. Gonna be hard to hold him down with all of those stats. Let's see when the spring is unwound here. His tension's building up.
Volodka caught immediately on the Pango. Can't really afford to die. The Depth Shroud giving him a little bit of time, but not really. He is down. Ferte, he's going to try and chase down RRL, but with the false promise, they've got plenty of time to just reset and get back into this fight. Store able to TP away. Harpoon out onto Skyward. That's the Spirit Breaker gone. Maybe they can find the Slark. Ferte, he's fine to TP out as well. So instead, mid-tier 2 tower is where they'll go. Ravens finding the second last tower on the outside of their base.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They might just go high ground before even going for that other tier 2.
Yeah, they've got time for it. Ferte.
And they're trying to defend the best they can here. TiltedBoys in a pretty rough position now. They are okay to reset again. Like, they're not going to find much. Even the tier 3 tower only taking a little bit of damage.
Under attack.
That's about it. They're out of there.
Yeah, don't overextend. They don't have arena up. They need a little bit more time to build up. So just a reset. Some poking and prodding. Gleipnir does catch nicely, but no follow through this time from the side of TiltedBoys. Ravens 8k lead up now for themselves. A full gem up and running on Kara, so a lot harder to try to sneak around here as a Spirit Breaker for sure for Skyward. Always have some vision available, and they should be able to clear out now to give Wake Me Up a better path around the map. Ags up and running for RRL. Double charge, silence on the Resonant Pulse can ruin these team fights. Smoke out from TiltedBoys though, they want something here.
Ravens. It's kind of just standing their ground. Moonlight Shadow was popped here by TiltedBoys, but they are going to just pounce back up. The Ravens still look like they want the fight, but no, never mind. There's going to be a counter smoke now. The Dire Triangle, they do pop one. Argus going to reveal himself, but they did not catch up the Monkey King yet, but a nice charge in is going to catch him eventually. Argus, though, still going for the team fight. Nobody's down quite yet. Argus got the Wukong's command off, so he's really taking no damage in this. Meanwhile, RRR, he gets stored down. Looks like they're onto Volodka. Volodka trying to hide in the Depth Shroud and survive through this. They'll pounce back onto the Monkey King, but he's fighting back with the Jingu Mastery. Eventually, he will go down, but so will Ferte. Ush, really the only one able to get out of there. As Skyward will once again get tipped here by Wake Me Up. 4-for-2 trade in favor of Ravens. The only survivor being Ush on the Pos 3 Mirana. Not a very good feeling for this Dire team.
No, definitely not. And they get to start on Roche here for the side of Ravens. Maybe not the fastest without the Monkey King, but you've still got your Void Spirit right clicks to come in here. Let me tell you, Mike, this arena stopping the roll, it's been doing a lot of work. Because that looked like a pretty bad arena from Italiano Gangstar. But he blocks off the Rolling Thunder. So they get more value out of the Wukongs. They get to drop a lot of heroes low, force out the Depth Shroud earlier on, and they just clean up. Like, again, I'm not 100% whether or not this is working as intended. I did read somewhere that forced movement is interacting a bit weird with Arena of Blood, even with debuff immunity. So that's certainly been causing a lot of issues for TiltedBoys here. With the Aegis up and running on RRL, I mean, you don't have too much to worry about, for sure. It's getting harder and harder for TiltedBoys. 12K lead for Ravens is not insurmountable, to be fair, but it's also not getting any easier, because you've got a pretty severe lack of team fight. If this Rolling Thunder doesn't get off, then you're really just relying on Charge Truce, on Pounces, and maybe the Gleipnir use, and it just doesn't feel like it's enough when you're dealing with the Wukongs, with the arena coming out, with how slippery RRL is as well.
RRL, speaking of the devil, not able to get an Aether Remnant onto door. 13k advantage is standing here for Ravens. Huge lead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Again,
attack.
no real successful high ground attempts yet. Halberd now up on the Monkey King, so Argus just trying to be as annoying as humanly possible.
Under attack.
Very effective if you can catch out the Mirana or the Slark with that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And keep in mind, Ush is hitting quite hard on the Mirana, regardless of how this game looks, so definitely don't want to give him the opportunity of just popping that leap and getting all these right clicks off. Ferte, oh, he's going to be spotted. Wake me up. He's got the vision. Ferte should be well aware that he's being watched right now, so he'll go for a BKB TP play out,
Is under attack.
and they can't cancel it. So while they got the BKB usage out of him, he's going to be just fine to survive.
Gets to live another day. Still managed to get rooted up by the Oracle. But, you know, that's in the base. It's not like you're going to be able to do much with that. Always funny to watch a long projectile fly out, though. 27 to 15. I don't know, Mike. I take the simple joys in life, you know?
You do, John.
I see something
you
fly
do.
across the map, I get happy. I'd love to
I
see
know
a
you
chain frost across the map, but it's been a while. That used to be a major meme, but I miss those.
Yeah, it's a shame. High ground attempt. Oh, Aether Remnant. Off the mark.
Dire structures.
Ash gonna do his best to slow this down with the Gleipnir, but RRL just having no fear, jumps back in. Arena is down. They've got Ferte. He used the Dark Pact already, so he's in huge trouble. The Shadow Dance, though, and the Depth Shroud both being committed to ensure he can get out. He's got no defensive utility left, though. Zargus, he's still got the cheese up if he gets it off, and he does. Skyward unable to
See
kill
this?
him off.
What do? You just can't roll.
No, you cannot. Ash, he will leap away. Buyback is there from Wildcard. I'm not really sure if there's too much to be worried about here. You've still got the Aegis up on RRL. So he's going to keep fighting. He's jumped in. He's on his own. That's the first life gone. Meanwhile, they're holding the Monkey King back, so he can't join the fight yet. He'll try to move in now. Skyward, in the meantime, able to just walk out with the BKB, but Ferte, he's the one in danger. He'll just keep going after RRL, but he does pounce out. So it seems like that's going to be enough. High ground attempt. I mean, they got the tier 3 tower, and they almost got the range barracks, but they aren't going to throw the lead they have. After the Aegis and Cheese is both used up, they do back off for now. Those Skyward's going in. Does go into the creep wave. RRL looking to try and chase him down. Does not have detection. Dust is out onto Wake Me Up, so they've got the Clinks down now. There's even Kara being held down there for a moment. Gonna try and force Staff away, but Skyward's back in onto the Void Spirit, who does get pounced on. He'll try to Manta, try to get out of this situation. Dissimulate is to the north. And he's going to be able to get out with the TP play as well. He's fine to reset. But Ferte's onto Italiano Gangster now. Italiano, like, he's dropped the arena, but he got bashed the last second as he was running out. It won't matter, though. He blinks away. He's all right.
Dire's top
They
barracks
only
is
lose the
under attack.
Clinks. Apart from that, they're fine.
Yeah, it's still a good pick off to find here on the side of TiltedBoys, managing to get a lot of use out of that smoke here. That should stall the game out a little bit more. Lead is still holding 14k in favor of the side of Ravens, but you're seeing a lot of issues in how these fights break out. Like, they're winning these fights, to be fair, but they're not the cleanest wins. It's not like they're able to find a good pickoff to lead into an easier high ground. Now you're seeing deeper dives behind a tier 3. You're seeing really aggressive plays where you might not need to have play that way. You could just take your time, pressure the objectives, have the side of TiltedBoys try to come into you instead and look for those bigger arenas, a better Wukong's usage. Still, it's working out for Ravens, the side of TiltedBoys. And they're hanging on, no racks to fall yet, so they're still in a pretty good spot in this game, but it does feel like this game is just really difficult, because even though if you've got this Mirana offlane which scales up, like, you're dealing with 4 cores basically on the side of Ravens with the Clinks around. It's like Wake Me Up is going to go for the BKB next, and then you're not going to be able to stop the Clinks as well in the middle of these fights. They smoke under ward, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is.
They're still going to try and roam across the map. It doesn't seem like TiltedBoys are really going to try and punish them for this smoke. Maybe just a bit of wasted time here by Ravens, but ultimately TiltedBoys still looking to try and get to that top lane to push in the top barracks. Would have enjoyed a pickup before they did that, and they might still find one. Ush pops the BKB, looking to try and fight back. Eventually does back off. So now Arena's down as well. Nice BKB timing from Ush to be able to get out of that situation. But Wake Me Up, he can just do this. Like, he can just pop the skeletal walk, get the archers out, and secures the range racks very safely.
It's not the biggest objective, but it is something to help keep these lanes shoved out when you're just elsewhere. So it's a little bit of it's a decent take for Ravens, not the best. Roshan we'll see in about 1:20. That's probably the big one both sides are waiting to find at this moment. And see how long that respawn is at that point forward. For Ravens, they could probably do with a Tormentor take. Like, if you had Reign of Destiny, I think these fights actually simplify a lot with how much sustain you have to amp up here. Just amping up the healing on a Monkey King is already massive, but getting more value out of every use of Purifying Flames is going to feel great. So we'll see if that's something that Ravens turn towards, as their own Tormentor is still up. Roshan, again, in less than a minute, we'll see that respawn, and Ravens are posturing for it, assuming a quick timer, but smoke out here from TiltedBoys.
Nice scan. It's going to be a big team fight for TiltedBoys. But Ravens, they are just waiting. They seem to know they're coming. Skyward going to break his smoke, or rather just the Moonlight Shadow is really broken as... does back out. Daedalus now completed on the Monkey King as well for this fight. Courier will go down, but he already got the item off the Courier, so it's not a big deal. Charge out, Skyward actually finding the Clink straight off the bat, so that's going to be a lot of damage disappearing here for Ravens, but he's going to buy back. They want to go in anyway. They're trying to move it onto Skyward. Skyward dropping low is going to go down to RRL. Ferte still moving forward himself, but he's very low in terms of HP. He'll try to escape. With the depth shroud, he is going to be fine for now, but a secondary arena from Italian Gangster still chasing him down, lands the spear, gets the Slark. There's going to be a buyback. He'll try to come back into the fight ASAP. Meanwhile, they've lost Ush and the Mirana. He cannot rejoin the fight. He does not have the gold for buyback. This fight is a complete mess between these two teams.
Oh my god.
They do kill off Door on the Veno. Volodka. He is trying to get his way out, but the chase is still ongoing. Harpoon there from our Monkey King. Ferte is going to come in again. Try to get some damage off, but looks like now Skyward's forced to sacrifice his own life.
Oh,
so Volodka still drops regardless. 4 down for the side of TiltedBoys. That was a full team wipe, in fact, John. The Slark buying back was the only reason why it doesn't look that way, but it was a full team wipe.
Yeah, maybe more, because you got the dieback on Skyward, right? So that's like 6 heroes, I suppose. And they called the GG. Yeah, they know they can't defend. A really great play coming out from Ravens. The patience paying off. They were in position to break the smoke and the Moonlight. and they managed to reposition themselves well. For Tilted Boys,
Smiley face.
for